is definitely not a W for Trippie. These numbers aren't amazing, but one thing these numbers aren't, it's not like a smoke perp tier flop or anything. The other problem that I see with Trippie right now, and this is something I also brought up, is the fact that Trippie Red is kind of in need of a hit. He definitely needs a hit right now.
Torn down, I get my nut like an acorn now. Working class on my backside, crook cash, Mr. Black, white shoes, dated 9-5, colorway tie dye. My name not Billy, but I am a bad guy. Lash master red, I sativa, get head high. Not in a band, but when I whip out baseline, blow me like bubble, but it ain't not bad time. Not on her fate, my kids love her, they FaceTime. Break bread with my brothers, we count.
Trippie Red predicted to sell 60 to 70k first week. Is that a flop or is that a W right now? Tell me in the chat right now, flop or not. Trippie Red selling 60 to 70k first week, predicted to sell 60 to 70k first week, flop or not? W, flop, W, flop. Okay, so I've seen a lot of people hating on him for their sales right now, and the thing is, as I explained to people earlier on in the stream, excuse me, like there's like a sliding scale to the way flops work, right? Like when I'm like very quick to call things a flop. You guys already know if I'm on this channel, I'm very quick to clown artists. When someone like Smoke Perp does like a triple, like this right here, like he does like a huge jump off, like a massive thing like that, and does like under 5k first week, those are undeniable flops, and those should be put in like one category over here. But when someone like Trippie Red, the reason why I'm not quick to call this a flop, like some other people are calling this a flop, so like very like as if Trippie Red's done and as if Trippie Red's fallen off. One, these numbers are kind of expected. I'm about to break that down in a second. And the second most important thing to explain is the second thing that's most important to explain is the fact that these sales right here are really good, are decent actually, not really good when you consider the fact that it's mostly streaming. So as you can see right here, it's only 2 to 3k have been physical album sales. Now, a lot of people have been comparing the fact that he sold 104k with a Love Letter 2.4. As you can see right here, Love Letter 2.4 wiki, a Love Letter 2.4 debuted at #1 on the US Billboard Top 200 with 104k album equivalent units, including 14k pure album sales. So that means 14,000 of those people bought or were like digital sales or pure album sales, and then the rest of them were streaming numbers. Now, as I said, compare that to right this, he's only getting 2 to 3k pure album sales. So let's just pretend he got another 10k album sales on that, then that bumps up to 70, 80k, and it's already looking better. Now, you might be saying, you dig, why isn't it getting pure album sales like it was before? Well, that is because for some reason, and I can't think about why. Because, wait, guys, can you tell me this? Has Trippie Red done a lot of, he pulled up a flop video, that's classic. Has Trippie Red been doing a lot of merch drops? He just did the merch drops the other week, right? So if you see right here, this is really interesting. On October the 25th, he did a merch drop with Trip or Treat. On September 19th, as you can see right here, he did another merch drop with a Pegasus merch, but for some reason, when he actually gets around to dropping the album, the only merch he does is this merch right here, but he doesn't do any album bundle sales merch. Now, as you guys know, I don't really need to explain, album bundles are how when you see really good album sales, for the most part, it's all being done through album bundles. So there are no merch bundle album sales for this album. I think this has significantly impacted these sales. The only ones he did are these vinyls right here, and he did the digital album, but there's no sort of bundling going on right now. So when you consider the fact that he's not doing any bundles, the 60 to 70k starts to look a little bit worse. Look a little bit better. Secondly, now on top of that, another point, a person earlier on in the chat, I'm forgetting your name, starts with an R, Reezy Turner, my G, always appreciate you tuning in. Reezy Turner brought up a really good point, and he basically said, and I want you guys to think about this, is the fact that it's not called a love letter to you impacting the sales in your opinion? Is the fact that it's not called a love letter to you impacting the sales in your opinion? Because he made a good point. The Carter albums always sell much better than all of the non-Carter albums. For example, Carter 5 for Lil Wayne, yeah, 100%. I completely agree. I'm with you guys. The Carter 5, for example, right, which we all know Carter is like Lil Wayne's series. It's a series that gets all the promotion. It's a series that he's most well known for. Carter 5 sold 480k first week, right? Carter 5 sold 480k first week. Yeah, I'm with most of you guys right here. Carter 5 sold 480k first week. His album after that only sold 139k first week. Now, fair enough, it's like a different situation for Wayne because we were waiting so long for Carter 5, so there was all of this hype and all of, like, there was a different situation. But I think if you look at the album sales for Wayne over his career, the Carters have always sold much better than the majority of his other projects because it kind of has that name behind it. And I think it's a fair point. You guys might disagree, you guys might not agree with me. I think the fact that this wasn't called a love letter to you something because of Love Letter to You is like Trippie's series. Like, it's known for Trippie. Like, it's what put Trippie on. Trippie's known for it. So I think the fact that it wasn't called a love letter to you really, not really impacted its sales, but slightly impacted its sales. So yeah, overall, I see a lot of people like going at Trippie for these album sales right here. Look, as I said, I don't think 60, 70k is anything to write home about. I don't think this is a W. This is definitely not a W for Trippie. These numbers aren't amazing. But one thing these numbers aren't, it's not like a smoke perp tier flop or anything. The other problem that I see with Trippie right now, and this is something I also brought up, is the fact that Trippie Redd is kind of in need of a hit. He definitely needs a hit right now. Trippie Redd has been struggling for a little bit right now. Okay, I'm gonna pause the video right there and just quickly say, obviously, if you guys can't tell, this is a live stream clip of mine. Tell me in the comments below whether you like me uploading these live stream clips on the channel or not. I'm trying to figure out whether you guys do or not. So please tell me in the comments whether you want me to upload more of these live stream clips. And if you haven't, make sure to hit the notification bell right now because I'm gonna be going live a lot more, like at least 2 to 3 days a week. So yeah, make sure to. Also, before we go on, I want to give a shout out from the Instagram. As always, big shout outs to Austin McFall and also shout outs to Danny J215 for following me over on my IG. Much appreciated, you too. If you guys don't follow your boy at your dig, make sure to go follow your boy right now, man. Always much appreciated. But yeah, comment down below whether you want me to upload more live stream clips or not, and turn on notifications to know when I go live. Always much fun playing music with you guys, talking to you guys, all that type of stuff. But let's get back to it. And I'm gonna be honest, in other videos, I think my appreciation and my love for Trippie Redd's music has kind of gotten in the way, has kind of like made me more optimistic and maybe skewed my perspective on some of his numbers. It's kind of looking pretty dire right now. If I'm being 100% honest, it's looking a little bit dire for Trippie because, as I said, 60, 70k is not a W. It's not an L. It's not 100% an L, but it's not a W. It's directly in that midpoint in my opinion. It's just mid numbers. But then on top of that, you add the fact that Trippie Redd hasn't had a hit all year. That's a worrying sign. And I said this before, look at this. 2017, he had multiple platinum songs. 2018, he had multiple platinum songs. 2019, he had one platinum song and multiple gold songs. Important to notice. Look at this. Platinum, gold, one gold platinum song, gold. So 2019 was already, comparably to his previous years, a less successful year, right? Then we get to 2020. He's been trying single on single on single on single. All of them have flopped, relatively flopped. They just haven't done well. They just haven't really blown up to that level. None of them are certified. They've got decent amounts of streams, but they're not on that hit level. So I think Trippie is in not a worrying situation. Trippie Redd isn't falling off by any stretch of the imagination, but he's definitely in a bit of a weird situation where I definitely think he needs a hit. And I think the success of this project is super important, and whether he gets a hit off this project is super important. Also, I see a lot of people saying like Ariana dropped the same day as him. Bro, Ariana isn't taking streams away from Trippie Redd. There is like such little overlap between the Ariana and Trippie fan base. If someone like Cardi dropped the same day as Trippie, if someone like Uzi dropped the same day as Trippie, if someone in the rap sphere drops the same day as Trippie, sure, I'm willing to make the argument that maybe it might impact his sales. But Ariana Grande just isn't taking away streams from Trippie Redd, in my opinion. So I don't think that really impacts him, in my opinion. Again, I don't think Trippie Redd is falling off. I don't think Trippie Redd is done or anything like that, but it's definitely looking like one of those cases where Trippie Redd is in need of a hit. And I'm hoping he does good because you guys have known this. I champion Trippie a lot. I'm a big proponent of Trippie. I think Trippie has a lot of talent. I think Trippie is one of the best artists out of this generation. But yeah, I kind of hope he picks it up both from a quality perspective and both from like a commercial perspective, and we see kind of Trippie get on the up again. Yeah, that's just my opinion. What do you guys think?